Peace, peace, peace. This is episode 13, part two of the Way Left podcast. Just like in part one, I need to do a little intro video before we actually go on with the podcast episode. Not because there were mistakes made so much in this one, but because there was a delay throughout uh, part one and part two. So the entire recording, there was a delay, and that delay between the two of us made for the conversation to get a bit awkward. And so I wanted to just let that be known. And also, where the mistakes were made in the first video, fact check on your own. Look at the things that I talked about and find your own clarity uh, with some of that. It's not completely, none of it's completely wrong. It's just slightly inaccurate. So look it up, take a look, check it out for yourself, and don't forget to. I'm not gonna say that shit. I was about to say, don't forget to like it. No, never gonna say that. Y'all do what you want. This is
So,
insane.
the Way Left podcast, right? Kevin K Dog Phillips. You came up with a solution, and the solution is run it by me again. The solution.
Small business ownership. Get that number up to 6%, and you'll see a dramatic change in African American, um,
Ask yourself, do
the dynamics of
but
African
do
American.
the majority of black people want to own a business? Do they want to own a business? What's the percentage of them that want to
I
own a
mean,
business?
I, I think everybody wants to own their own business. I think everybody thinks it's easy. I think people think I don't want to work for somebody. I want to work for myself, set my own
Right.
hours and all of that. And I will tell you that
Now,
that's not how that works. Owning your own business is very difficult, and you don't have one boss. You now have hundreds of thousands of bosses. All your customers, all your clients, those are your bosses now. You know, and so it's a lot more difficult than you think it is. But everybody wants to do it, and even if you don't want to do it, there's at least 6% of the population that wants to do everything. 6% of the African American community wants a small business. They want to have a regular job. They want to not work at all. They want to get like 6% of every population wants to do
all right.
something. Name anything under the sun. 6% of that
So
population wants
how
to
would
do it.
you inspire?
So of course there's 6% of
So
the
how
African.
would you inspire the next generation of children to want to be entrepreneurs and make sure that they own a business? How? Because I mean,
Nobody nobody gets to a business by inspiration. Inspiration is for, I know you said kids, but inspiration is
yes,
for kids. Inspiration is
yes,
for
5 year olds.
five-year-olds. I don't need to be inspired. You don't
Right.
need to be inspired.
Okay.
Inspiration is for children. You need guidance.
So who's
You
going to guide
need,
them?
it,
Who's going to guide them?
well, again, when you're talking about the solution, I'm telling you what's blocking your solution. The thing that's in the way of your solution or in the way of this solution are people. It's like I said about the grocery store. Buy a grocery store and leave. You know, if you want to do what you're talking about, that old talk about they say, well, if I give you the fruit, you'll eat for a day. If I give you the seeds, you'll
Right.
eat for a lifetime. Not if you don't know how to plant. Not if you ain't got the soil. Not if it don't rain where you live. Not if there's a drought. Fuck you. Give me the plant. If you gave me
Speaking
the
of rain,
plant,
hold on. I think my window's down. Sheesh. Hold on. The windows was down. Up. I mean up.
you don't.
I'm just trying to see how we can how this is possible because the majority of people out there those who have the money are not speaking about this, nor do anybody else out there is speaking about, hey, we need to open up businesses. That's the solution. I always thought that was a mindset that you had to change.
There's people talking
I
about
didn't
it.
hear too many people talking.
There's people out there talking about it. Um, there's not enough people acting on it. And again, see, we don't have we don't have a history of owning our own businesses,
Agreed.
right? If we got into a culture where we're used to seeing black people do business in business, we'll start to pay the price. We'll start to go to those locations. We'll start to shop with African Americans. Right now, we have this overwhelming doubt that blacks aren't in business with everything. But Sis showed everybody on the Instagram when the guy was in Target. He was like, how are we going to boycott Target? Where am I going to get my toilet paper from? Where am I going to get my dishwasher detergent from? Where am I going to get? And the sis was on there like, are you serious? There's a black business for everything in Target. And she just ran down a list of literally hundreds of businesses that black people have everything. Black people currently right now are selling detergent. I have some. It's called True Laundry. There's a brother that's selling underwear. There's two brothers now. There's probably more, but I know of two that are selling male underwear. There's lingerie. There's bras for sisters. There's tampons for sisters, made by sisters. There's all kinds of
Right.
stuff out there. All kinds of stuff. Yeah, you're going to have to mail order it. You're going to have to go online to get it. They're not in retail outlets like that. So you're going to have to make that sacrifice. You have to do that work. But you do it for Amazon.
Me, I don't shop at Amazon.
Amazon is worth $1 trillion. You do it for them, do it for your people. I remember walking one day in New York City, and I had my own little business going, my own little side business thing going, but I was working for a guy who used to do asbestos investigations in New York City. And I'd worked all day for him, and I didn't make it to the shop I needed to go to buy some materials to make my product. And I said, man, I'm tired. I'm going to go home. But I just spent 9 hours for this man, making him rich and rich in his pockets. And I'm sitting there telling myself that I can't give myself 2 hours for my business. That's ridiculous. Yeah, I'm going to have to give myself 2 hours. I gave him 10. The least I can do is give myself 2. And so I went to my shop and I got the stuff I needed and I made my product. That's the attitude you're going to have to have. You're going to have to commit to a level where if he's not at Target, fine. I'll find him at Walmart. If he's not at Walmart, I'll go to the market where he's at. If he's not at the market, I'll find him online and I'll buy it online. And that's the commitment you're going to have.
You know, I was thinking about, oh, see, he's like, oh, this boy's coming with some fuck shit. But no, this is gonna be sad. This Juneteenth thing, I never knew this existed. Juneteenth. I
I mean, since when?
Since forever. I'm not even lying.
But okay. Well, maybe the better question is, when did you become
Probably
aware of?
3 years. If that.
So you've known about it for
Yeah.
3 years.
And I thought it was this. I thought it was
Well,
a special celebration. I thought all the black people would just buy black, at least for that day. Just buy black only.
Well,
They should.
that's not what
I think they
Juneteenth.
should. We should. All of us, just buy black that day.
No, I don't know. No, I don't want black people to commit to buying black for a day.
Well, you need to start somewhere.
I want you to commit to buying
Yeah,
black.
but we need to start. Yeah,
No, I don't want you to. You're too long. I'm not.
So why is it bad to do it? Why? Because we ain't buying black every single day. But this day,
There are people who
this
do.
day could
but
be.
I don't want to. No. These things that we're being okay,
All right.
this is the problem. We are being taught, black people, all right, I'm gonna
Uh-oh.
talk to y'all. Black people are being taught celebratory first
Okay.
nonsense,
All
and
right.
it's nonsense. Okay, the first NFL coach to win the
Oh
Super
yeah, we
Bowl is
don't care about that.
irrelevant, but it's a
No,
celebration.
I don't care about that.
The first African American president, Barack Obama, right? But that's a
Right.
celebration, and
Right.
it's
We get that.
nonsense. Getting me to buy black on Juneteenth or on MLK Day or during the week of Kwanzaa or any of that stuff is also
Ah.
nonsense. What group do you know teaches their community to shop with us one day
Oh
out
no
of
no
the year?
no. No 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 no
Nobody.
no. We're shutting down, not shopping anywhere else for a day, and shopping for with us. I'm not
But
asking. I'm not
that's
asking.
again, if you're going back tomorrow,
Well, it may not
your
happen.
your other
It may not happen. I know what the white people are going to do. If this would work, I know what they would do. I know what they would do. Oh,
nothing.
they would do something.
Well,
I'm
why
gonna
would they
tell you
do it?
this. This is
What? It's
no, no,
one
no.
day.
Hold on.
If you're
Well,
coming back to my
hold
store
on. Don't
the
they got the
very
Black
next
Friday
day,
thing, right? And everybody goes crazy, correct? Internet. Then they change it to the internet.
that's
Right, right. They're selling old shit. We get that. But what I'm saying to you is, if this was successful, I think it would, and you would just to the point that it's a regular thing. It don't have to be Juneteenth. I would say we need a spark. I know this is a shot in the dark, and it's not ideal from what you were saying, but man, we got nothing. Ain't shit happening. You can be on this mic talking about
Nah,
buy
there are
black,
things
buy black,
happening.
and it's not gonna be enough to move the needle. We need something to move the needle.
No, it's
Huh?
happening.
It's
It's
where?
happening.
I mean, across the board.
There's black businesses
I mean,
that are
in your area, yes, but we're talking about in an area that's like mine.
no, not here,
Then where?
but in an area like yours, the demographics don't work for your area. You have to look at the
Yeah,
demo. Italians are not going to thrive in neighborhoods where it's
yo,
predominantly Chinese. You know, like, oh, you can't do
well,
business.
that's another story.
Yeah. But,
I mean, that's another story too. That's
no,
another.
you have to teach people that shopping with black people is not a celebration, because that'll be a celebration. That'll be a bunch of people walking into black owned businesses, taking pictures, taking selfies, making reels, doing shorts, and showing everybody, look, everybody, I got my bingo bango. I got my bingo bango. And then the rest of the year, you're going to buy Sprite.
What
The rest of the year,
yo,
you're going to buy Chemical Dry.
I don't think so.
If you want to bring the price of
I
this
know you gotta
down,
bring the prices down.
you're going to have to.
It's a celebration or changing the demographic mindset on buying black, because now we know. All right. So you all right? The places where you go to do your sales and everything, that's a predominantly black deal, right? It's not daily. It's weekend, isn't it? Is it Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or it's just
It's
a
the
weekend?
weekend, and it's not predominantly black, not
Oh,
anymore
yeah,
anyway.
need to switch that.
It's predominantly white. Look, I mean, she's not going to see this, and even if she did, I don't care. But the owner of the thing, the organizer of the thing, she doesn't want it to be black. She wants it to be white. So there's always new whites coming in. She's growing it. She wants it to be a white
But
thing.
she's using, so she
Okay, that's fine.
Okay.
It's every Saturday. So it's
Once
once
a
a
week.
week, which is also fine. But my people that come to buy that from me every week, that's their only opportunity to do so face to face. But you can go on Etsy and you can buy it online, which people do all the time. You know, so I'm like, there's no scenario in which I'm going to tell everybody, hey, look, everybody, my Durham shirts are going to be available on Juneteenth.
No, you don't say it like that.
That's
No, see,
ridiculous.
I
I should
no, I
sit
wouldn't
down.
say like that. I
Well,
would
yeah,
just
well.
say I would thought, you know, that would be going down. So what's this? I don't know. I don't, I don't know.
You want the same. What are you
What
thinking
I'm
about?
thinking about is
What are you thinking about when you
that
go to?
you need something tangible to change to a spark to change this whole thing around. And I don't see no spark at all. I don't see no.
But
I
that's not that's not a
it's not a
thing.
thing.
Look, what do you think about when you go to the grocery store?
Like there's nothing in here I want, and that's every time I go in there. It's nothing
You don't leave empty-handed,
because I have to feed these kids.
but you don't leave
Yeah.
empty-handed. Okay. What are you thinking about when you go
Oh,
to
I
the
don't go
mall?
to the mall, and I'm being honest. I don't go to the mall. This is from a guy who don't watch
Okay.
movies.
Let me try
Yeah.
this. All right.
All right.
Let me
Junkyard. All
create
right, hold
a
on.
person
Junkyard.
who's
Let's
not
say
a person.
junkyard. In Rawway, there was a black junkyard.
But
Yeah,
that's
no, but I mean, you use it.
no,
Black,
no.
there's a
I'm not doing it.
black man at the junkyard. Black man owns a junkyard, and I didn't go. See?
But that's not the point
All
that I'm
right.
making. The point that I'm making is that when you go to the grocery store or the mall or any other place where you
Right.
buy goods, you are not thinking to yourself, I'm buying white. You're just getting
Right.
what you need. You're just buying goods and services. When you bought that microphone, you just thought to yourself, I need a mic. When you bought the lights, you said, I
Right.
need some lights. When you bought the laptop, you said, I need a laptop. At no point did you think to yourself, I need to support white business. So let me go and buy this stuff. No, you just
All
bought the
right.
stuff.
I see where you're
And
going.
so if you're going to buy products, I don't want you to think about it in terms of black business support. I want you to think about it in terms of I need these goods and services, so I'm going to go get them.
I got you.
And then you go to the place and that's what?
Not,
Now, if you have to today consciously think about that fact that these are black people that I'm supporting, that's fine. That might be the case for a decade or two. But the shade that I'm trying to create, I'm not going to enjoy. I'm not going to be the pool that I'm trying to build, I'm not going to take a dip in. 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now, people will say, yeah, I mean, there's nowhere else to buy what you're talking about except Larry's. That Jerome's is the place we go for that. There's nowhere else to go. You know, when integration was going on, they had bus companies and movie theaters and all this kind of stuff. And they're like, well, we're allowed to integrate now. So I want to go to the white movie theater. Well, there are no white movie theaters around here. Remember, segregation. Well, then we need to find them. So they would go all around the world trying to find white businesses. Meanwhile, the black movie theater is still here.
they really did that?
I need a situation where you go to the store, there's nowhere else to buy what you're looking for. We go to Jerome's. See, when you go get your soul food, there's only one place to get that. When you get your hair cut, there's only one place to do that. When you get your hair done and your eyelashes put on, when you get these put on,
Oh man.
and you walking around,
Oh man.
and you got
Looking like
there's only one
looking
place
like
to do
Mr.
that.
Snuffleupagus.
Yeah, right. That's what you look
Like
like.
Snuffy.
That is what you look like. Hey, bird. So that's what I want. I want if the soul food, if the Jamaican restaurant, you just say I want Caribbean food, and so you go and you get it. You don't think I need to support a black business today. No, you just going to get what you want. That's what I want to
Right,
see
but
have happen.
But
All right.
you know what? I see your logic. I know on my end, I'm looking at it like, if you gave your kids, there was two stores, they had both had candy in it, and it was as equally the same price. Which one of those stores your kids would go into? The Indian store or the black store? Just saying, for face value, walking in.
My kids were going to the black.
Because you have taught
Well,
because you
again,
have taught
because
them to take that route on your actions.
I taught them to hate everybody who
There
looks
it
like me.
is.
Well, I mean, it's a combination of the two. There's my actions, and then there's my words. I told them to
And
hate
that's
all
what
the
the,
all
and
of the
that's
races
and that's what
except
they
their
do.
own.
They do the same thing. They do the same thing. We only want black people to come in here and spend this money.
Other groups are doing.
Poppy don't give a fuck about black people like that. Only
Well,
certain ones in certain areas and certain demographics. But we talking about a majority pool. They don't give a fuck. They don't care. I know that.
but they're
I
not
know they don't
supposed to.
supposed
I don't
to.
want them to care.
Right.
There's 38 million black people,
Right. They don't supposed to.
and again, black people buy other. Why do I care if a Korean person is? I don't care. Look, that's
Right. No,
irrelevant
no.
to me.
But what a
You know, you be on your side of town. The only
So if that's the case, right, and you feel so strong, I'm just playing devil advocate through this whole daggone thing. I'm crazy. So we shouldn't let Koreans in our community, correct? If the community is black, we should.
No, we
But
shouldn't.
they come in. So how do we? I
Right.
got one Chinese restaurant that I'm trying to get closed on the low. I got one. You know what I mean? I'm done with them. Done. I feel that they shouldn't be in our community. Ever. Because we can't get a black store in their community. We damn near can't even get a black store in our own community. But I think this Juneteenth thing is a good spark to start getting some of these Chinese weave places gone. Finito. Nah.
No,
Come on.
because that's not how they do
We
it.
don't care about how they do it. This is how we
Not how
gotta
they
do it.
do it. Look, you gotta. There's a template already. They listen. Chinatown does not keep black people out by simply saying no black
No, they
people
don't say
allowed.
that. They said
Not
no
what they
business
do.
allowed though.
Right? But you'll find out
It's no business. No.
they don't do that either.
What?
But
Chinatown got black people in it?
what? But here's the problem: the landlord. No, it's not that. Nobody is going to come out and say no blacks. But when you go there, it's like I talked about before. It's about feeling welcome. When you go there, this guy is talking Chinese. So you're like, hey, man, I want to rent this place. And he's speaking Chinese. And you're like, I speak no English. You speak English? No. All right, never mind, man. I can't be here. Go down the block. He's Chinese. You go around the corner. It's the same Chinese landlord from the first place you went to. So now you're starting to see a trend here. All right, I'm not going to be able to open a business in Chinatown because nobody speaks English. So even though I got something that you Chinese people might want, when the customers come in, I'm not going to be able to sell them nothing because they speak Chinese. I can't even rent the place because everybody speaks Chinese. He showed me a lease, and the shit was in Chinese. It's not Chinese, it's Mandarin, but I don't understand any of this. So I'm out. I gotta go. When you go to a Jewish neighborhood, same thing. This guy's talking Yiddish. I don't understand Yiddish. I go to Little Italy. This guy's speaking Italian. I don't understand Italian. Well, I'll be damned. I mean, wait, now they come to the black neighborhood and all of a sudden now everybody can speak English. And your ass couldn't speak English when I came into your neighborhood. But now you're in my neighborhood and all of a sudden, hey, how you doing? How you doing? Aren't you the guy who told me you only spoke Italian? Hi, how are you? How are you? Hi, how are you?
Listen,
Didn't I try to rent something from you a month ago and you only spoke Mandarin? Now you speak English all of a sudden, motherfucker? They keep you out with the language. Then they keep you out with price. Then they keep you out with culture. Well, what are you going to sell to all these Chinese people? You ain't Buddhist. You don't understand the food that we make. I went to a Chinese restaurant in Chinatown and looked at the buffet and was like, I can't, what the fuck is this? This is real Chinese food. This is shit you ain't never seen before. They don't serve General Tso's chicken to each other.
Oh, they don't.
They don't serve
That's
sesame
American,
chicken.
That's the American version.
That's not Chinese
American
food.
stuff.
They might as well call that shit American. But it's American. So you want to go into a Chinese neighborhood with your soul food. Ain't nobody in that. So you want to go in with what you think Chinese food is. Well, that ain't Chinese food. So you want to go in with what? African stuff? What are you going in with? You ain't got nothing to go into that Chinese neighborhood with. Nothing. So you leave. And you're right to leave. So how is it that they can come into the neighborhood, our neighborhood, and open
because
up?
Because
they speak English.
They're good. They're good for
all this come from
infiltrating.
China.
See, right now, right off the top of the dome, we don't even know what Chinese people would eat or what would they buy or anything. We don't even have a clue, but they do know what we will buy. Black and mild,
Well, because
they know. They know.
but we display all that shit. You know, I did a video you ain't seen yet. I did a video talking about Puff, and I asked you what was the video.
Oh, yes.
What was the video that Big was pulled over in the music video? And you was like, I don't know. So I looked it up. Eventually I found it, right? So there's a video with, I forgot the video now. Here's the point now I'm making, because I was trying to look for it just now, but forget all that. Watching those Puff videos made me sick, like physically ill. Like I wanted to throw up watching these videos. It is gratuitous in a way that I understood when I was growing up watching it, but I didn't really understand it. I mean, it is wild. It is crazy watching those videos. So I watched a bunch of them, and everything black people want is right there on display. If you watch BET for an hour in 1994, you knew exactly what black people wanted. Wasn't difficult. Find me the channel you can watch that'll tell you everything you need to buy for Chinese people to sell. You don't know what it is. It don't exist. Chinese people are not putting all their wants, needs, and desires on display. Asians don't do it. Latinos don't do it. Nobody does it. I've heard music all over the world. Never once have I heard a Chinese song with a Chinese man singing about the clothes that he's wearing.
I love the Gucci.
Or the car that he's
I
driving.
love the Gucci. I love the Gucci. I eat my fried rice with Gucci. I want my Gucci. That's true. That's true.
They ain't never seen it. You see Indian people walking around in their clothes every now and again. You don't see it every day, but you see it sometimes. You say, oh, they must be going to a cultural event.
A billionaire Indian man is not wearing Gucci.
What's the name of that event?
Billionaire Indian man is not wearing Gucci.
No.
He's not wearing Gucci.
Well, he might have on Gucci socks because they're comfortable. I always told people, man, Bill Gates socks cost more than your entire outfit right now. And if you put the socks on, you'd fall asleep right there in the chair. Most comfortable pair of socks you've ever felt in your life. You put on Bill Gates socks right now, you fall
You know
asleep
what?
right
Well,
there.
Bill
Fall right
Gates'
to sleep.
socks is like shoes. It's like shoes, like slippers.
Yeah, his socks are amazing. Yeah, his socks are going to be amazing. The Asian dude, the Indian dude, he's putting on those clothes with the turban and the whole thing, and he's going to some kind of event if he's dressed like that. What's the name of the event? Nobody knows.
I should know. I'm around these. I'm around.
Right. What's the holidays that they celebrate? Nobody knows. What is their marriage called? They don't call it marriage. So what do they call it? They don't know. How long is it? What do they celebrate instead of Christmas and Easter and Ramadan and the Eid and Hanukkah and Yom Kippur? What's their version of this stuff? Nobody knows. They're top everything in the food chain in America, and you don't know shit about them. This country knows everything about you, and you're at the bottom of everything. There's a reason for that. This is not something that I'm saying, well, there could be, maybe there's no, these are just facts. You don't know nothing about that Indian man, and they win the spelling bee every year. They know everything about you, and while you did have the sister win last year, little sister girl won the shit, but I will tell you, there was no Aquila. That wasn't real. That Aquila and the Bee movie wasn't real. There was a Jamaican girl who won it a long time ago, years ago. She won. She was from Jamaica.
Whoa.
They know everything about you. And you're blasting everything. You don't win the spelling bee. And they know everything about you. You're smart. You're intelligent. You're wise. You got everything that you need. You don't have any caveman in your blood. So there's no reason for this. You birthed the plan. As the white dude, the little gay Jewish white dude, I don't know what he is, I think he's a little gay or whatever, was saying in the car, Instagram video I saw. Hey girl, he said, he said black people are the earth. And I was like, yo, where he get the lessons? He got the lessons. He talking lessons. When the nation and the gods and all that stuff, when they talk about black people created all that, you see all that kind of stuff, that's what they're talking about. We didn't make the dirt. That's not what we're talking about. But the earth as we see it all came from our existence, our presence. Everything that's in the earth exists right here. Exists here. So you formulated the exact same way. Planet's mostly water, your body's mostly water. The universe has hydrogen galore. You have hydrogen galore. The plasma that exists everywhere in the world, you have running through your veins. It's all connected. He's breaking it down. We know all this, but what we don't seem to understand, what we don't seem to do, is hold on to what it is that we know, what we do, what we understand, and create a subculture that we don't share with the world. You share everything with the world.
Okay,
look,
I can see where this is going. All right.
Would you rather,
Okay.
right now, right here today, would you rather live in America or Africa?
Oh, they're gonna say, a lot of people are gonna say America. A lot of people are gonna say America.
Yeah. Well, what are you gonna say?
I'm gonna say America. See, I'm being honest. I say America.
Right. Right. You're gonna say America. Right. Okay. Now, post-slavery America is the America that you want to live in. Because without slavery, you don't want to live here. What would be here? You're talking about America without blues. You're talking about a band without the blues. That means you got no R&B, you got no pop, you got no rock, you got none of it. You got no country, you got none of it. You got no internet.
No, no
got,
KFC. No
we'll
KFC. Yeah, no KFC.
It's necessary, I guess, right? We got we gotta do
No
it.
KFC.
Love that chicken from Popeye.
No, I ain't gonna do that one. I fucking hate that damn Diddy. But yeah. No stoplights. No.
But you're
no
living in America.
No electricity. No electricity.
Yeah, go to the easy one.
No light bulb.
No electricity.
No electricity. No light bulb.
You're talking about an America without slavery, because if you're not here, that means you've never been here. That means everything that preceded you wasn't here, which means there were no slaves to build the economy, to build the greatest economy the world has ever known, to build the greatest war machine that the world has ever known, to create the biggest technological advancements the world has ever seen. None of that happens if you're not brought here first. You want to live you were slave. See, in order for you to live here, you have to go ahead and allow for 400, 500, 600 years of black suffrage in order for you to live in this America.
Not yet.
And if I told you that you're going to live in this America without the slavery, you ain't coming here. People always say, well, if without slavery, then you wouldn't be in America and you wouldn't be in the greatest country in the world. No, I'd be in Africa and you'd be in the worst country in the world.